Hello, warriors, and welcome to another week of my wellness blog. I work with motivated moms and some dads who want to move from good to great, from frazzled to fabulous. My clients are ones that know that when they take care of themselves and they help themselves, they're better able to show up and help those in their life that they love. I'm grateful for you for listening or watching or reading. However you're getting this information, I want to give you a big yay you squeeze of appreciation for taking time to proactively dig into your well-being and listen to me in the first place. So thank you. Today I am talking about parenting. This whole month I've been talking about parenting, and it's October 2017. And this is relevant to you no matter who you are. You know why? Because if you are a parent, great. This will help you. Also, if you have parents, and if you are here, you have parents. So whether they're actively in your life or not, parents impact you. Let's listen in. Hey mom, what do you want for your child? What do you want for their life? What do you want their life to be like in 5 years? What do you want their mental state to be like in 10 years? How about when they're your age? What do you want their life to be like? And how is your current parenting reflecting that desire right now? How's it happening? As busy parents, we often lose sight of that big picture. Whether it's for this day, what we want them to be like this year or this decade, we lose sight of the big picture. What do you want for your child? Maybe right now it's just to not forget their homework today, not miss the bus. When I meet with parents, I hear two main things come up time and time again. First, I hear how stressed and busy they are, how they have no time for meal planning, no time for dates with their mate, no time for cleaning or laundry, let alone exercise or meditation, for goodness sake, Susie. I hear you, and I've been there, and I will not be addressing that in this blog, but I have in the past many times. And if that's you and you're living in the land of overwhelm and my life is a shit show, please check out my blogs on Busy. I will link them in my blog post, or you can just go on my website and Google Busy and Overwhelm. I did some last spring that were quite popular. And I also encourage you to, I encourage you to sign up for my 10-day Conscious Living Cleanse. It's all online. It costs less than a coffee a day, and it has changed lives. It can be done from your couch or your busy car while you're waiting for a carpool pickup. And once purchased, you can access it anytime and redo it or rewatch the pieces online. It's full of great content. And again, it's less than a coffee a day, 10 days, all online. What will you gain? Awareness of how to bring more calm to your life, tools to de-stress, tools to motivate yourself, and inspiration. I mentioned two things that come up routinely when I work with parents. The first thing was stress and overwhelm and busy. The second thing is what this blog will focus on. And their main second issue has to do with fear. How afraid they are that their kids may suffer, that their kids may fail, that their kids may experience difficulties with their friends, with school, with sports, or the activities they sign up for. Of course, they don't come right out and say, I'm so afraid my kid will be a failure. But when I dig into what they're thinking and why they're doing some of the things they're doing as a parent, it is because of that. It's because they're afraid of their child failing or suffering. As you might expect, parents' fear has nothing to do with their kids and everything to do with them. And I'm right here with you. As a parent, when I reflect on some of my less fine parenting moments, I can see how I was driven by fear. Why did I nag him to work on his science project instead of letting him go at his own rate? Or why did I push him to look my friend in the eye when he said hi at the supermarket? Fear. Fear he might fail is what was driving me to nag him about his science project, and fear of what others may think, my friend, and possibly even deeper fear of what he may become in the future. Like my mind going, oh my God, Susie, if he doesn't say hi to your friend and look him in the eye, then maybe he'll be some sort of socially maladjusted kid. There was definitely a fear behind my less fine parenting moments, and the more aware of it I am, the better I can control it so as to parent my child instead of trip my issues onto him. So what if my friend thinks he's rude? Is he rude? No. Maybe he's a little uncomfortable looking other adults in the eye. It's fine, not abnormal. I've been telling him his whole life to be wary of strangers, and suddenly I'm like, oh no, look this one in the eye and smile and be outgoing and brave, So what if he doesn't finish his science outline tonight? Do I want to be the reason why he does his work? Fear of what I will say or do? Or do I want him to be driven by his own interests and his own desires in the subject or any other subject for that matter? Last week, my blog spoke really to the importance of knowing ourselves in order to be the best parents we can be. And this week, it reinforces it further. Why? The more aware we are of ourselves and what's driving us, the calmer and more in control we can be in life in general. Certainly as a parent, a spouse, a worker. We need to know what is behind our actions. We're the adult. We get to act consciously. It is in our family's best interest for us to know what is driving us to encourage our daughter to try out for that soccer team when she really doesn't want to. Externally, we might say, it's good exercise, or the ubiquitous, it will be a good experience. But what does that mean? Surely there are other ways for our daughter to exercise that she would enjoy. Do we want her to play because all her friends are playing and we're afraid that she'll miss out? Miss out on what? Doing something because her parents want her to do it, but she doesn't want to? What are we really teaching her? Are we trying to give her the message that if her friends get together and she isn't there, her friendship won't be as strong anymore? Are those the kind of friends we want for our kids? I often, when I have that thought in my mind, I'm like, okay, where is this showing up in your life, Susie? Where is it driving my behavior? And why don't I deal with my own issues instead of micromanaging my kids? Add the other thought we might be telling ourselves, that it'll be a good experience to try out for this soccer team. Will it be good to push her to do something she doesn't want to do? Come on, the good experience here will be for us as parents to dig into what we're afraid of. By pushing her to do something she says she doesn't want to do, we'll teach her that her inner voice and her inner desires don't matter. They don't matter to us and they shouldn't matter to her is what we're teaching her. That she doesn't know what's best for her. Is that the message we really want to send? I do not. One of my favorite cognitive behavioral coaching tools is something I call Zoom In, Zoom Out. This tool helps me and my clients keep perspective on what is going on in our lives and manage our mindset accordingly. So imagine you're viewing your life through a camera's lens. Sometimes it's necessary to zoom that lens in, and sometimes it's necessary to zoom that lens out. Take the example of your daughter trying out for a soccer team that she does not want to play on. Zoom your lens way in to look at your daughter and her needs. Your lens is so zoomed in, it can't capture that your neighbor's daughter is trying out for the team. That's not part of your lens, so you're not looking at that. It can't capture what will happen next year if your daughter doesn't make this team. You're looking at right here, right now, what's in your daughter's best interest. What does she need? And how can you best serve her as a parent and guide to meet those needs? Now, zoom out, way out. What do you want for your daughter in 10 years when she's your age? I know she won't be your age in 10 years unless, I guess I shouldn't make that judgment. But zooming out, what do you want for her in 10 years? And what do you want for her maybe in several more than 10 years? For my case, I don't even know what it is. 40, so 30 years for her. Do you want her to think physical exercise has to be unpleasant? It has to be something she doesn't want to do? Do you want her to feel fear of what will happen if she doesn't do what you want her to do? Do you want her to constantly be putting her own needs on the back shelf for someone else's needs, yours? Now, flip the situation. Say your daughter really wants to try out for the team, but you think she shouldn't because you've heard it's a very competitive team and, sorry, Susie, but have you seen my daughter with a soccer ball? Okay, Mama, it's time to zoom in. What does your daughter need? What is right for her? Ask yourself again, how can you best serve her as a parent and a guide to meet those needs? If you're anything like me and the countless parents I coach, you will want to discourage her from trying out. Why? Why would I want to discourage her? She wants to try out. Well, I'll tell you why. I have many reasons that come up in my mind when something like this comes up. Because what if she fails? What if she doesn't make the team? This is where it gets uncomfortable as a parent, but where it's crucial for us to keep that lens zoomed in. What if? What if she tries out and doesn't make the team? Here's what happens. Same thing that happens to all of us in life. She learns. Depending on whether you supported her in trying out or discouraged her from doing what she wanted, she could learn a variety of things. She could learn that her parents support her in trying new things, regardless of whether she succeeds or not. She could learn that when she listens to mom and dad and doesn't try out, she misses out and is disappointed in herself. She could learn that it's more important to stay safe, to look like a failure. No, it's more important to stay safe, to play small, than to look like a failure and go out for what she wants. She could learn how to process her difficult emotions, disappointment, embarrassment, etc. If she goes out, doesn't make the team, what's she going to feel? She could learn how to process those emotions. She could learn that life is about learning, and even though she didn't make the team, life goes on and there are more opportunities ahead. I love how parent expert Dr. Shefali addresses our kids trying new things and our fear of them failing. She says, "It is not our job to be our kids' critic. You have to be their biggest cheerleader. The world and society will teach our children what their talents are. We are here to show our kids we support their quest, their discovery of themselves. If they fail or if they succeed, that is irrelevant because we are focused on their growth and the process." As a coach, I totally believe that, and it is also my belief that as parents, when we dig more into our own self-care, the better our world will be and the better we're able to parent our child. Digging into our self-care includes getting to know ourselves and learning how to manage our mind so that if we're afraid, we don't let that drip out on our kid. The more conscious I am of why I'm doing what I'm doing, the calmer and more mindful of others I can be. The more people who are consciously choosing what they say and what they do instead of reacting, the kinder our world is overall. So let's do it, warriors. Zoom out. What do you want for your child? How is that playing out in his or her life today? Do you want him to feel confident? Do you want her to be happy? Zoom in. How can you foster that today? Tomorrow? The place to start is with your own self-exploration. If you missed the free journal questions from last week, I've linked them again in this blog. Get them now. Set a timer for 5 minutes, get out a pen and paper, and take a step towards being even a better parent than you are today. When we know better, we do better. This is not about placing blame or shame on yourself as a parent or a person. Your actions are fueled from a place of good intentions. I know that, mine are. But now it's time to move forward. Love is not about sheltering them from failure. Love is about you supporting them when they fail. It's also about loving yourself while doing this. Be kind to yourself. Remember, it's normal to fear your son and daughter failing and falling apart. As a parent, it's like we want to keep them in this little soft cocoon and keep them there. But actually, thinking of a cocoon, butterflies, they need to go through this painful process of going through that cocoon and bursting out in order to become as bright and as wonderful as they are. So don't beat yourself up as a parent for feeling fear, but also don't allow yourself to sit and wallow in that fear either. Part of being the parent is putting on those big girl or big boy panties and learning how to manage your fear so that you can allow your kids to fail. How do you do this? Many ways: the journaling, or you can contact me or learn more about my 4-part parenting program, again linked in the blog. I like to think of life as a path with many twists and turns. As a parent, preparing my child for the future, do I work to clear that path of all obstacles and challenges, make it nice and clean and tidy? Or do I prepare my child by modeling and teaching tools and skills necessary to navigate that path? If there's one thing I've learned in my life, it's that I cannot control the path. I can control my reaction to what's on that path, and I can also control that no matter how many times I fall along that path, get all bloody, scrape up my knees, I can and I have gotten up. Each time I get up, I get stronger and wiser. That's what I want for my kids, and that's how I strive to parent. Join me. Let's do this, warriors. If you've not signed up for my newsletter yet, please do so here on my blog post, or there are many. If you just click on my website, www.smbwell.com, a pop-up box comes up really quickly. If you're watching this on YouTube or listening on SoundCloud, please subscribe to this playlist so you get a notice when the next post is available. And if you haven't taken an SMB program or experienced a one-on-one SMB coaching session yet, why not? Coaching is all about evolving and getting to know yourself, getting yourself to that next best level of you. It is, I feel, imperative to have someone with you on this journey. You can't do better unless you know better. And how do you know better? You do not know better by redoing all the thoughts you've had in your head over and over again. So let's evolve you to the next best version of you as a wife, as a husband, as a mother, as a father, or just as a human on this earth. I am here, and I love, love, love the work I do with my clients because of the results I see in their lives. Please join me. Have a great week, warriors, and I got real close to the camera there. I will see you next week. Bye.